Welcome! Now that we've established our table relationships and have explored that view in Power BI, we're now going to move on to the data view and learn important ways to explore and navigate through our data. So let's get started and hop into our Power BI report. As a quick refresher, our file currently has all of our tables imported, which is our lookup tables here at the top, our store, products master, channel, and geography, which contain all of our text information, and then our data table, which is our sales table, is at the bottom, and that contains all of our keys and our numbers that we'd want to do math against. Now that we've familiarized ourselves with this view, let's go ahead and navigate up here on the upper left from our relationship view to our data view. The best way to describe this view is it's a great way to look at your data and do exploration and any kind of filtering that you would need to see row level detail. Most of the navigation you will be doing here will be found in the upper right under your fields list. Let's go ahead and navigate to our sales table, and to do so, to get to any table, you just click on the table name, and what you'll see is it gives you a view of your table and all of the columns that are contained within it. Taking a look at the lower left, you'll see that there is the table name plus the row information related to it. You can also gather further information about any column if you select it. So let's say I select the name column, which has the name of the files that this was imported with. And taking a look again at the bottom, you'll see that there's the table, sales, with 859,000 rows, and information about that column as well. The column, which is called name, has 3 distinct values. Same thing if I selected, say, product key. I'm going to pick that, and it'll show that there's 628 distinct values. Now you can also, just like Excel and the query editor, if you hit the down arrow at the top up here, it will load you a distinct list of values from the table. And then you have an option for sorting, ascending or descending, doing basic filtering. The number filters here work very similarly to the query editor, where depending on if it's a number or text information, you will have filters that are related to that data type. Now, if I was to select a couple of product keys here, come take a look at the bottom again. You'll now see that you have your total row count, your filtered row count for the table, and then further information about your column, your total distinct values, and then the number of distinct filtered values that you have selected. So it's a really good way to kind of dig in and explore your data if you're trying to see a specific section of it and maybe the row information behind that chunk of data. Go ahead and clear this filter. There we go. Now, a couple of other important things about columns. A good thing to look at and check, if you come up to the modeling tab, you will see that each column has an assigned data type and an assigned format. Now, data type is the actual type of data that exists in that column. Format is simply the default setting that this will display as if you use this in any visualization in the report view. Now, an important thing to note that I want to come over here to the relationship view for just a second. Any of these relationships have one requirement for them to work, or one major requirement, I should say. Outside of the fact that they need to have matching values, the data types need to be the same. So as an example, this relationship between the product table and the sales table, that product key needs to be the same data type. So if it's text on products master, it would need to be text on sales. If it was a number on products master, it would also need to be a number on sales. All right, go ahead and navigate back to my data tab. Now, another really great thing about this view is how easy it is to navigate. Over on that fields list, as you've already seen, if you click on the table, it takes you to that table, and then you can see it here. So if I clicked on geography or any of these, it will show me that table after I've clicked on it. Even better, I can do a wildcard search for any column name. Let's use sales key as an example. If I type that out, it gives me a filtered list of columns that match that. Then if I click it, beautiful, look at that. It takes me to the table and the column on that table. So if I have a long list of columns across a bunch of tables in my data model, it's really easy to find and navigate to that one. All right, that about covers it for the basic understanding of the data view in Power BI. So in our next video, we're going to dig further into column settings and also understand how to create hierarchies in the data view before finally hopping into the report view in our next section.